Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 9 Premium Medium tank, the T55a. Now this is a tank that has gone through a fair amount of changes really, and I've covered those in other videos to be fair, because this tank actually has been on the channel quite a few times. That's because I really like it. I really like the T55a. Yes, there is one thing that stands out about the T55a, and that is that there's a tech tree version that is basically better in every way since they buffed it repeatedly, and that is the T54. The T54, the Russian Tier 9 tech tree medium tank, is basically flat out better than this in most ways. That is something to bear in mind with this tank, but a lot of you will already know this because basically most people got this for free in, I think it was one of the season passes. So most people already know what this tank is like because you already own it, but it's, I think actually at the time of this video when it goes out, it's actually available for free XP. Which means that, you know, people can pick it up for free XP for 350,000, I imagine. Which, when they bring out those tanks for free XP, that's always a good way of picking up tanks. Whether they be the Tier 9s or the Tier 10s that they release every now and then. Or when they do the random occasions where they decide to release Tier 8 Premium, you know, where they change some of the Tier 8 Premiums and make them free XP as well. They're always good ways of picking up the tanks for cheaper, generally. Because, well, at the end of the day, you can control how much of a discount you're getting on the tank. Say if it's 350k free XP, and it costs, I don't know, 14,000 gold to get that much free XP, but you already have 100,000 free XP, well, it's going to cost you a lot less to just get the extra 250, right? So, I mean, you know, you instead of paying 14, you might be paying 10, or something like, you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm getting at. That you can end up having the discount at the point of, well, it's at your own control in how much you've actually got free XP saved up in the game anyway, because there's a fair amount of people that will have a lot of free XP saved up because they don't use free XP, because there's a lot of people that religiously don't use free XP, which means that they can use it for discounts like this. And there's people like me that have basically own every tank in the game at this point, so it just sort of stacks up constantly as you're going along, as you're playing, because you're not really using it on anything. I mean, the only tanks I'm grinding at the minute is Cold War, but I'm grinding Cold War a lot at the minute because it's the only things I've got left to grind. So, and to be honest, I enjoy grinding, so I don't really use boosts that much except to get past the horrendous stock grinds at times. So my free XP just keeps stocking up and stocking up and stocking up. So yeah, you can control your discount that you're getting essentially on that, and then sometimes even then when they do the discounts on the when they release the free XP tanks, they'll do a discount on how much it costs to actually convert gold to free XP, and also how much the tanks are discounted while they're also available for free XP too. Sometimes they do all that sort of stuff, but I mean, I don't think they've done it this time. But yeah, anyway, enough about that. The German T55a, it's basically a T54, but for the Germans, and it is different. And that is the fact that it has less armour on the hull, and the gun is different. So the gun on this tank gets 238 pen on the AP rounds, which is one of the changes they made a wee while ago, so that the penetration is not 221 anymore. You get 330 heat pen, which is filthy, just like you would on the T54. Your rate of fire is pretty damn quick at a base 7.7 second reload, which I think is actually a 6 second reload, which is really, really nice for the T55a. This first replay is from a wee while ago, and I'm not sure if this was before or after the second or the third set of buffs they gave the T55a. But yeah, you get a 6 second reload with the kit up, the kit out, kit up, kitty. I don't know how. English, it's hard. With the setup that I have, with the kit I've got on the tank, there we go. I mean, we got there in the end, right? You've got to commend me for getting there in the end. Which means that, yeah, your DPM is really, really nice. And the gun handling on the tank is also absolutely fantastic. I mean, at the end of the day, you're seeing the gun handling on this tank without vertical stabilizers, because I don't run vertical stabilizers on this tank. And it is pretty damn nice to use. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the T55A? Well, on the T55A, I tend to run a pretty standard medium tank crew. I run Ball Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Track Mechanics, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and Camouflage Expertise. Camouflage Expertise to make the camo somewhat decent on the tank, because it is a medium tank. I do like to make the camo better so that I can fire without getting spotted as easily, or get to those sort of sneaky bush locations to be able to make the most of basically my gun and my DPM, and not get spotted as much. Like in situations like you're seeing right here on the hill. And then in terms of equipment, I run the advanced loader, the camouflage net, and the optic. So the camo net, again, to make, because the gun handling is so good, I don't feel like I need vertical stabilizers. I don't run vert stabs. I run the camo net to make my camo better. I mean, I get the camo down to about 275, I think it is, or 270 in that region with the setup I've got with the crew and stuff. So it's a really nice thing to have. It's a really nice asset for the tank. And I say, if you feel like the gun is good enough, you don't necessarily have to be running the gun stabilizer. If the gun does annoy you, though, you can just run the gun stabilizer instead of the camo net, pretty much. But yeah, that's why I run that. I run all the 3 of the gun perks as well to make this gun as good as it can be, because I'm not going to run vertical stabilizer, so I do want to help it out if I can. So we finished that first game with the epic victory, 2 kills, 5.6k damage, 1744 base XP, not base XP, assistance. The ace tanker, the sniper, the high caliber, 1879 base XP, there we go. Really nice game for the T55a there on Pearl River. And now we're on to the second game. The second game is on this map, which is Himmelsdorf. We're on Himmelsdorf, and on Himmels, I'm feeling like, okay, I don't want to go to the hill. So what I want to do is I want to go to the 3 line and go sit in the windle. Sit in the windle? The windle. Yes, that's a thing. The window. I'm going into the window or the window, whichever way you put it. I'm going to go sit in the window at C3 and basically look across down the 3 line, and that way we can catch anyone that crosses the G line and we can stay hull down, essentially, stay safe ourselves. I'm telling you, English is hard today. But as you can see, the Manticore is on the train tracks. He's chasing our light tank, so I'm trying to help our light tank out if I can. I'm trying to get some shots in, but these shots are going nowhere. I have no idea where they are going. But now we're deciding, okay, that light tank's dead. I don't know what that light tank's doing over there. He is basically screwed. Can we still angle for a shot at these guys over here? Not quite seeing it. So, okay, you know what? We're going to go poke up in this window and see if we can get the gun into a position to shoot stuff like the 5120 down there. But as you can see, it's a little bit awkward because with the T55a, we do only have 5 degrees of gun depression, which can be very limiting, and we really had to find the right spot to be able to get this gun down on target on these tanks at the end. So we actually managed to get the gun down to be able to look at the Waffle Panzer IV and the 5120, but the Manticore came a-roaming, so we managed to turn around, get the shot into him. That shot flew into the Waffle Panzer IV there. I'm not quite sure how. We're turning around now to watch this Manticore because the Manticore's just killed the machine and he's coming out in front of our guns, so we get a nice shot into him there. He's now 167 hit points, so we're just hoping to get the kill on him, but we can't quite get that. There's an STRVK at the end of the road and a Progetto 65. We try and get shot into the Progetto 65, but the shot goes, God knows, it hits the wall pole there and just, well, it just doesn't do anything. We get a shot into the side of the Progetto there because he just drove out a little bit too much sideways on. And I'm just watching it now so that he's kind of trapped in place because he's getting shot from somewhere else, which means there's a likelihood he's going to drive out. But we want to see if we can find this SDRVK as well to see where he was. And he was actually driving down the train tracks. This is why I was going to have a look, because I always had the SDRVK in mind. That the SDRVK was at the end of the train tracks, and I was thinking, he's got to be closing the distance, right? And he was. So, yeah, we're just trying to keep getting the shots going into this guy. We're trying to whittle him down as much as humanly possible, because I'm looking at this going, okay, I'm kind of, well, not alone. I've got a TD and a light tank with me, but we're not in a good situation. There is a lot of enemy tanks here. We need to do our best to get to just whittle this the hit points of this enemy team down. So this SDRVK is very much my focus, and we're doing the thing that the Russian type medium, well, the Soviet type medium tanks can do, which is side scrape. T54 can do it, the T55a can do it. You can side scrape quite effectively with a tank like this, and we managed to block a fair few shots off that SDRVK before he just decided, oh, I'm dead, I'm going to get a shot into this guy. So that the SDRVK is gone. Now looking for shots into the Waffle Panzer IV, who was driven very much into the open. So we're just being very careful with how we're manoeuvring ourselves. I'm going, okay, go on then, Waffle Panzer IV. My turret is fantastic. He bounces. He's now a one-shot because the other tank gets a shot into him. And we just about sneak the shot in to shut down that Waffle Panzer IV. We're up to 4.6k damage now with 410 assistance. Something just shot at the light tank from the back down the bottom of the train track. So I was thinking, okay, I've got to be careful of that. The 13105 comes around the corner. The legal assassin. I like that. He comes around the corner. We got a shot into him, but he's run straight into my friendly TD and the Foch shuts him down. That's what shot at my friendly light tank from the back. It was a T100 LT. and he bounced off of us. So, you know what? I'm not going to go chasing after that guy. I'm going to go try and defend my cap, try and help the medium tank that's in the base against this IS-7, who is a two-shot. So we load the heat because we will need the heat for the IS-7. Get the shot through his upper plate, and this man's is coming for us, but he's just fired. I fired at the same time, which meant that, realistically, I should reload first. But the Foch shuts down the IS-7. So now it's like, okay, what do we do? We know that light tank was down the train tracks, but I assume he's going to have moved by now. You know what? We're going to maneuver ourselves into a position where we're going to try and get some shots into the side of this heavy tank and TD. They're starting to come off the hill, so what I want to do is try and help my guys out on the Banana Road. We get a shot in to shut down the Lehman Russ. And yeah, I want to get behind this E3 if I can, because my guys on the Banana Road are starting to get pincered. If we can get rid of the E3, they can just turn around and deal with that, deal with the threat behind them. They don't have to worry about the threat that's in front. And we're just trying to race there before they get shut down. That T100LT, like I say, I'm just ignoring him because the fact that I do need to get in and try and just help my friends and get rid of this E3. We get a nice shot on the move into the E3. Like I said, I'm not using gun stabilizer, so this is the gun handling. We shut down the E3, and at this point it's like, oh boy, we're in for a world of pain. The T100LT is coming in. We get a shot into him. He rams us. Thank you for the 732 hit points. And unfortunately, we get shut down. We just end up in a bad situation there, and unfortunately, we lose the game. But we finish the game with a pretty damn nice total. Third on the MVP screen in a loss, which is always great. On a map that's not quite suited to the tank as much. 4 kills, nearly 7k damage. The ace tanker, the high caliber. 1242 base XP on a loss, which is a really nice game for the T55a. It is an absolutely solid tank. I do really enjoy the tank, but I really also enjoy the T54 as well. And that is a tank that you can just get in the tech tree for free. That is fantastic. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!